Welcome back sa Math Husay General Math Tutorial. Sa videong ito, pag-aaralan natin kung paano mag-solve ng problems involving exponential functions. Let's start! Example number 1. A town has a population of 40,000 that is increasing at the rate of 5% each year. Approximate the population of the town after 6 years. Sa problem na ito, alam natin na ang initial population ng town is 40,000. Ang rate ay 5% at yung time na pinag-uusapan natin ay 6 years. Now, using the population growth formula, P equals P sub 0 times the quantity of 1 plus R raised to T, isa-substitute natin itong mga values na ito. So, to solve for the population of the town after 6 years, P sub 6 is equal to 40,000 times 1 plus 0.05 raised to 6. Now, isimplify muna natin yung ating expression sa loob ng parenthesis. Now, 40,000 times 1.05 kasi, di ba, 1 plus 0.05 is 1.05. Raised to 6. Now, 1.05 raised to 6 is equivalent to 1.34. So, multiply it to 40,000, that is equivalent to 53,603.83. So, pwede nyo namang isolve this problem using your scientific calculator, no? So, if you plug in 40,000 kanina, from here, 40,000 times 1.05 raised to 6. So, automatically, you can solve for the population of the town after 6 years, which is, in this case, that's 53,603. So, hence, the population of the town at the end of 6 years is approximately 53,603. Claro? Let's take another example. Example number 2. Suppose a culture of bacteria is put in a petri dish and the culture doubles every hour. Approximately, how many bacteria will there be after 9 hours? Alam natin na initially, yung bacteria sa petri dish ay 300 lang. And yung rate, dahil nagdo-double ito every hour, so 100% yung pag-doble ng ating bacteria. So, since we're talking about 9 hours, so T is 9. So, using the formula that we have for population growth, P is equal to P sub 0 times 1 plus R raised to T. So, i-plug in natin yung ating mga given. So, P of 9 equals 300 times 1 plus 1 raised to 9. Actually, since the culture of bacteria doubles every hour, pwede na tayo right away mag-start sa 300 times 2 raised to 9. Kasi yung 2 naman is yung growth factor. Kasi sinabi natin nagdo-double yung number of bacteria every hour. So, from here, 2 raised to 9 is 512. So, 300 times 512. So, at the end of 9 hours, there will be 153,600 bacteria. So, you can also solve this using your scientific calculator. So, you plug in 300. From here pa lang, 300 times 2 raised to 9. So, you'll have 153,600. So, in conclusion, there will be approximately 153,600 bacteria after 9 hours. This time, let's have exponential decay problem. Number 3. A certain radioactive substance decay half of itself every day. Initially, there are 10 grams. Approximately, how much substance will be there left after 8 days. Alam natin na at the beginning, no, yung radioactive substance is 10 grams. So, gusto nating malaman kung ilan na lang ang matitirang substance at the end of 8 days. Kasi nga, di ba, every day, nagiging half na lang yung radioactive substance. So, kaya yung R natin is 0.5. So, applying the concept of exponential decay, the formula that we are going to use is P equals P sub 0 times 1 minus R raised to T. Take note, nagsasubtract tayo ng ating rate kasi we're talking about exponential decay. So, plugging in the given 10 times 1 minus 0.5 raised to 8. This is equivalent to 10 times 1/2 raised to 8. Kung natatandaan ninyo in the beginning of our session, pag we are dealing with radioactive substance or half-life, so the function that we are going to use is y equals y sub 0 times 1/2 raised to small t all over capital T. In this case, whether you use this formula or this formula, you will arrive at the same answer. So, 1/2 raised to 8 is equivalent to 0.00390625. So, ginamitan ko na yun ng scientific calculator. Times 10. So, at the end of 8 days, there will be approximately 0.0390625. So, actually, you can use your calculator again. So, plug in 10. Dito pa lang. 10 times 1/2. Let's verify kung tama yung sagot natin, no? 1/2 raised to 8. So, you see that your answer is exactly the same. After 8 days only, about 0.04 gram of the substance will remain. So, yan na lang yung matitira after 8 days. Ganun lang kadaling mag-solve ng problems involving exponential decay. This time, let's solve another exponential decay problem. Suppose that the half-life of a certain radioactive substance is 20 days. And there are 10 grams initially. Determine the amount of substance remaining after 75 days and give an exponential model for the amount of the remaining substance. So in this problem, alam natin na initially, yung dami ng radioactive substance is 10 grams. So, magiging half na lang yung substance, radioactive substance, at the end of 20 days. So, ngayon, gusto nating malaman kung ilan na lang yung substance at the end or after 75 days. Using the exponential decay formula, P is equal to P sub 0 times 1/2 raised to T all over capital T. We plug in these values. So, we have 10 times 1/2 kasi half-life nga, di ba? So, raised to 75 all over 20. Again, bakit 75 all over 20? Kasi alam natin na magha-half lang yung substance at the end of 20 days. Dahil gusto natin malaman kung ilan na lang yung substance at the end of 75 days, so kailangan nating i-divide yung 75 by 20. So, 1/2 raised to 75 over 20 is equivalent to 0.07. So, multiply this one by 10. So, there's approximately 0.74 grams. So, you can use your scientific calculator to solve this problem. So, 10 times 1/2 raised to 75 over 20. So, tingnan natin kung pareho yung sagot. So, in this case, the result is 0.07 0.74. This means that only 0.74 gram of substance will remain after 75 days. So, ganun lang siya kadaling mag-solve ng exponential decay. Let's take example number 5. And this time, we will be talking about compound interest. Emmanuel deposit 10,000 pesos in a bank that pays 3% compound interest annually. How much will he have after 11 years without withdrawal? So, from this problem, we will be using the compound interest formula. So, alam natin na initially, 10,000 pesos yung pera ni Emmanuel. Tapos, yung time is 11 years. Yung number of compounding period is only 1 dahil compounded annually ito. So, yung rate naman natin is 3% or 0.03. So, we plug in these values sa ating formula. So, we have 10,000 times 1 plus yung rate natin is 0.03 divided by 1. Take note, bakit 1? Kasi compounded annually. Yun yung compounding period. Raised to 1 times 11. So, we simplify this one as 10,000 times 1 plus 0.03 raised to 11. So, combining 1 and 0.03, we have 10,000 times 1.03 raised to 11. So, simplifying the expression that we have, so, yung amount ng money at the end of 11 years will be 13,842.34. So, again, from this point, 10,000 times 1.03 raised to 11, you can actually get the answer right away. So, I'm just showing you kung ano yung value ng 1.03 raised to 11 dito. Saka i-multiply. So, in this case, in this problem, yung pera ni Emmanuel after 11 years will be 13,842.34 pesos. Imagine, hindi man lang nagdoble yung kanyang investment. But nonetheless, pwede na yung na-earn na 3,000. Approximately 4,000 rather. This time, paano naman mag-solve ng compound interest problem kung iba yung compounding period? Alex invested 100,000 in a company that gives 9% annual interest compounded quarterly. How much money will he have after 5 years? Sa problem na ito, gagamitin natin ang compound interest formula na A equals P times 1 plus R over N raised to N times T. So, alam natin sa problem na ito na ang initial money is 100,000 and yung time na pinag-uusapan natin is 5. Ang N naman is 4 dahil ang compounding period ay quarterly. Ibig sabihin, 4 na beses. Rate naman is 0.09 or 9%. So, we plug in these values sa ating formula. So, 10,000. So, 100,000 times 1 plus 0.09, that's the rate, over 4, dahil yan yung compounding period natin. So, raised to 4 times 5. So, 0.09 divided by 4, that's 0.0225. Sa exponent naman natin, 4 times 5 is 20. So, i-add natin ngayon yung ating expression na nasa loob ng parentheses. So, we have 1.0225 raised to 20. So, yung value na yon is equivalent sa 1.56050920.068. Then, you multiply it to 100,000. So, ang investment will be 156,050.92 pesos. So, from this point, 100,000 times 0, from this point, 100,000 times 1.0225 raised to 20, pwede na natin yan right away i-plug in sa scientific calculator. So, the value of that will be 156,050.92 pesos. So, mas mainam na gumamit tayo ng scientific calculator para mas mapadali yung pag-compute ng ganitong mga problem. So, in this case, after 5 years, Alex will have 156,050.92 pesos. So, take note, this example is different from the previous example kasi yung compounding period niya ay iba. That's why you have to be very careful and really notice kung ano ba yung compounding period na pinag-uusapan sa compound interest problem. Let's have example number 7. This time, pag-uusapan naman natin tong example na nag-i-involve ng natural exponential function. The predicted population of a certain city is given by P equals 200,000 E raised to 0.03 Y, where Y is the number of years after 2015. Predict the approximate population for the year 2027. So, yung ating P equals 200,000 E raised to 0.03 Y is yung function na nag-represent ng population ng isang city, no? So, we want to know kung ilan yung population niya at the end of 2027. So, yung year, yung value ng Y will be equal to 12 kasi 2027 minus 2015, it's 12, right? So, yung 12 ay ating ipa-plug in sa ating function. So, 200,000 times E raised to 0.03 times 12 kasi yan yung value ng Y. So, 0.03 times 12, that's 0.36. So, ngayon, we plug in sa ating calculator, scientific calculator, no? So, 200,000 times E. So, take note, ang E is 2.718281 and so on. So, sa calculator na lang natin i-plug in. So, raised to 0.03 times 12. So, yung sagot natin is 286,665. So, in year 2027, the approximate population of the city will be 286,665. So, ganun lang kadaling mag-solve ng ganitong problems involving natural exponential function. Let's take the last example. And this time, pag-uusapan natin ang depreciation. The value of a new car in 2020 is 1 million. It depreciates 5% each year. How much will the car be worth in 2025? So, alam natin, at the beginning, ang price ng car is 1 million. Yung rate ng depreciation ay 0.05, ibig sabihin 5%. Ang time naman na pinag-uusapan natin is 5 years. So, we will use the exponential decay formula or yung depreciation formula, no? P equals P sub 0 times the quantity of 1 minus R raised to T. Now, we have 1 million times 1 minus 0.05 raised to 5 because we're talking about the value of the car at the end of 5 years, no? So, 1 million times 0.95 kasi 1 minus 0.05 is 0.95 raised to 5. So, It's equivalent to 773,780.94 pesos. So, from here pa lang, you can plug in right away sa inyong scientific calculator. So, 1 million times 0.95 raised to 5. So, actually, yung magiging value or worth ng car by year 2025 will be 773,780.94 pesos na lang. Claro. Now that you were able to solve different problems involving exponential function, try these exercises. If you're done, share your answers on the comment section. Kung nakatulong ang Math Husay Math tutorial na mas maintindihan ninyo kung paano may apply yung konsepto ng exponential function sa pag-solve ng real-life problems, give this video a thumbs up, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Remember, ang sekreto para maging math husay, matuto at mag-ensayo. Join me next time and learn with me about logarithmic function. God bless. See ya. Bye.